And I also, the laser, I like the laser thing because it reminds me of, I think the movie Aliens, where there's in the cryogenic sleep and the laser went, and it kind of like scanned the whole body, and you see on the screen like what's going on. And I was like, oh, that's how I see some of these practices, like, you know, these qigong exercises, like you're doing the laser scan. It's like penetrating. It's like coming through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been having such a not an issue, but I've been noticing I've just been like floating a little bit and really needing to find a way to ground myself, just taking a minute and doing it. I think that's going to work for me this week.
Good. Good. Yeah. I think I'm the same way. I need grounding too. So this is something good for me as well.
Yeah.
How about you, Anne? What, any comments or shares?
Yeah, it was very calming. Really enjoyed it. I love that it's so fast. And bringing in the breath for me is so helpful because that is the biggest thing that I really miss all day long is I do not really take deep breaths. So this one really does. It's beautiful.
Good. Yeah. Synchronizing with the breath. The arms are going to be going fast, and your scan's going to be faster, but that's okay. You know, if for some people, like, you know, in reorganizational healing, some people connect really more with breath
Mm-hmm.
than with the energy or the movement,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we got to do, I guess, all three with this,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And do you lead with breath? Is that
Nope,
true?
nope,
No.
nope, nope. No, I mean, breath is my last one that I never do. You know, that's,
What do you lead with?
I think, sensing, like energy.
Okay, energy. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So the breath is, I mean, I go faster because I'm like, oh my God, you know, like I'm running out of breath here, you know.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So there's this like, so it becomes less relaxing, but it just brings such nice oxygen in me that I really need.
Beautiful.
So
Yeah.
it's almost a different function.
Yeah. I like that. You know, like, yeah, you're going to go faster, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, like it has a different function in it, and it actually brings more oxygen into your system, but also allows you to just tune in as like feedback for your rhythm. This is
Yeah.
my rhythm. This is Anne's rhythm,
Yes.
and that's yours. It's nobody else's,
Yeah.
right? We were doing it together pretty slowly. That's nice too, but like, yeah, this is a good way to find your own rhythm and entrain um, the kinesthetic or body motion with your breath, which is
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
What if your rhythm, your breath is fast and the other stuff is slower? Like, in order for me to really feel the energy, I need to go pretty slow.
Yeah, that's why we went slow in the beginning.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's like you can
What
go
if,
slow and find your energy and just connect, because I have to go slow to feel the energy too. I can't just go like that, right?
yeah.
Some people just boom, they're in there, right? But for me and you, it's like, okay, just find it first. And then when we found the breath, it was a little bit faster because you run out. I'm running out at the end, like right around here. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I got to go a little bit faster and just catch up with that, right? But as you do this more, I found, or as you do more of the breath stuff, it's important to do it naturally in the beginning, and then you can add an element of like, okay, I'm going to slow it down. Just how much can I slow it down, right? And then there's an interesting thing that happens in some meditations where, um, you know, you let the breath be natural, but as you start to focus, you notice there's also the breath starts to slow way down, and you're almost in like a breathless state for a little bit, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, you know, if that happens, that's fine. Just allow that to happen.
Yeah.
You know, as you're doing this, as you find yourself going, but don't think you have to like, oh wait, I need to breathe. Oh no, that's fine. You know, it's like the whole thing about this is like really allowing yourself to explore and having that self-compassion with where you're at.
Yeah.
Yeah, I caught myself a couple times for sure, not or almost being upset because I couldn't keep up with my breath and like
Hmm.
that.
Yeah, and that's a great thing to notice, right?
Yeah.
What is it? I mean, you don't have to go into analysis around it, but like, um, for later, it's like, okay, why why are you upset that you can keep up? What does that mean for you when you can't keep up? You
Mm-hmm.
know, there's something there for us to explore when we do get upset. Even with a simple exercise like that, things come up for us to actually reflect on.
Yeah, for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I think also the more that I would relax, the more that I could probably be okay with not having a breath at the moment or not having oxygen, right? Because I mean, at first, what I get in touch with is just still that survival mentality that most of us, I mean, we're shifting out of it, and I think that that's what we're noticing right now in these times is really like this shift where we're starting to feel like it could be so much easier. Like it doesn't have to be do or die the whole time. And
Hmm.
we don't have to make ourselves do things that we don't want to do just in order to make a living and all of this stuff. I mean, I think it's really, really shifting. And I think that so at first I would, you know, especially if I did this like before going to sleep, I would just realize that I'm so still in my like, but I need my breath. Oh my God, you know, like what if I don't have any breath anymore? That's gonna be the end of me. And then that probably with more acknowledgement that it's okay and that I can go a little faster, then maybe I could relax into like, oh, and isn't that so interesting? I'm still alive for 3 minutes, even if I don't have any breath. So I
Yeah,
little cushion.
that's right. And it's going back to the same place where we get to practice. Even though we fail a million times during the day, we get to come back to treating ourselves kindly. The self-compassion piece, that we can actually treat ourselves with. And I just want to acknowledge you, Brent, for coming back to it, because there's a couple of places where you could have gotten upset, or maybe you even did, but then you just came back to it. It seems like,
Yeah, yeah.
and that takes some skill, dude. And like, it's not something to be taken like, oh, I came back. It's like, yeah, but that means that for me, when I hear that kind of lets me know that, oh yeah, it does take some skill to be able to come back instead of getting lost and let the upset take over and let the meaning, whatever that means, and going down that spiral that we all know we can go down. So it does take some skill. And if you have that skill, I'm talking to odds, if you have that skill, great, use it, and if you just happen upon that skill, congratulations, because you're going to be able to do that more.
Well, thank you.
So yeah, thank you.